On the news this morning, Governor's wife, Mrs. Obiano, says women remain moral conscience of the society, charges them on promoting godliness at all levels. Anambra State Internal Revenue Service continues clamp down on illegal revenue collectors. EFCC arrests Islamic scholar for defrauding a Korean of 30 million naira. 6 persons killed, thousands affected as Paraguay River overflow hit banks as heavy rains continue in the South American country. Good morning and welcome to Breakfast News this morning. I am David Opopasele. The wife of the governor of Anambra State, Dr. Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano, has re-emphasized the importance of women to family and societal growth and development. Dr. Obiano stated this while addressing Christian women at the Median Women's Day celebration of the Christ Living Hope Miracle Church, Isuaniocha, Oka North Council area. Correspondent Daniel Ezigwe filed a report taken from here. The governor's wife, who was represented by the wife of the Deputy Speaker of the Anambra State House of Assembly, Evangelist Mrs. Sylvia Oseke, noted that women form the root of family values. She added that the impact of women in every sphere of life remains indispensable. Speaking on the topic, the role of women in modern Christianity, Dr. Mrs. Obiano challenged women to drive the culture of godliness in every place they find themselves, stressing that a virtuous woman is one who reflects the true light of uprightness and grace.
The story of Adam might be a sorry case compared to your own. You need to make up your mind concerning your wife. The Bible said that a man should be satisfied with the wife of his youth. Be satisfied with her breast. He said, drink water out of your own systems. Do not allow your water to be dispersed outside. Do not give your strength to strangers.
Earlier in an address, the President, Women Organization of Christ Living Hope Miracle Church, Mrs. Precious Nwagalako, noted that women must be appreciated for their role in evangelization of the gospel of Jesus Christ, the gospel of hope, liberation and deliverance from varying captivities, adding that like Esther in the Bible, women have advanced the cause of freedom of mankind.
We are ready to do the work of He that we are created to serve. In this work, your support is all we need. Brothers and sisters, we are humbled by your presence. We feel honored to have you.
The General Overseer of Christ Living Hope Miracle Church, Isuaniocha, Reverend Ugochukwu Ekwem, said that women remain a strong pillar of both family and society and urged them to continue glowing the light placed on their hands by God.
You can see the women fully prepared for this wonderful celebration. And I want to assure the women that after today, everything they need from God will be released to them.
The Median Women's Day celebration of the church had special side attractions in form of dramas, prayers and special presentations by the women, as well as the launch of the church women boss. The Commissioner for Economic Planning, Budget and Development Partners, Mr. Mark Okoye, has assured that Anambra State government will continue to partner the federal government in alleviating poverty in the state. Mr. Okoye made this known during a 3-day training for the state local government community-based targeting themes organized by the Anambra State Operations Coordinating Unit, SOCO, in collaboration with the National Social Safety Nets Coordinating Office, NASCO, in Oka. Chibuzo Okoye has the report.
Declaring the training open, Mr. Okoye, represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mr. Leo Imoka, said that Anambra State government is highly passionate about the program and assured that they will continue to align with the federal government to ensure that the poorest of the poor and the vulnerable in the state are lifted from their predicaments. The Commissioner revealed that the current administration has provided a significant amount of money in the 2019 appropriation bill to ensure continuous smooth implementation of the program in the state and urged participants to take their job seriously.
A landmark is being led today. Anambra State is moving from one level to the other. The level of achieving success in the first 30% of their targeting program and moving from that 30% to the next level of getting the poverty situation of the remaining 70%.
The targeting officer, Southeast and North Central National Social Safety Nets Coordinating Office, Abuja, Mr. Ezekiel Bala, commended the Anambra State government for taking the lead in the implementation of the program in Nigeria and explained that Anambra State is the second state in Nigeria to kick off the second phase of the program and urged them to sustain the tempo.
We have been covering the entire local governments in Anambra State. I want to encourage all of us here, the participants, we are expecting something superior to the first, and that could only be achieved by your efforts and your hard work.
The Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Social Investment Scheme, Mrs. Chinwe Wushu, and the State Coordinator of the program, Mr. Bid Okoli, who outlined the successes recorded under the various components of the Social Investment Scheme by the Willie Obiano's government, made it clear that the state government is desirous of sustaining the program. One of the participants, Reverend Kinsley Chukwukama of the National Orientation Agency, told the ABS that he is highly passionate about the job and assured that he will discharge his duties efficiently and effectively without fear or favor. The Batch A trainees for 5 local government areas in Anambra Central, namely Oka South, Idemili North and South, Anocha and Njikoka, after which other local governments will follow. In Oka, it's been Chibuzo Okoye for ABS News.
The chairman, Anambra State Internal Revenue Service, Dr. David Nzeku, has restated the total commitment of the service to rid the state of illegal revenue collectors. Dr. Nzeku stated this in his office in Oka while briefing newsmen on the arrest of Mark Chooks Global Resources and Tina Stores Limited, who issue fake demand notices, beat people, and take them to court without remitting the money into government coffers. Amaka Chibuzo Okoye completes the report.
Dr. Nzeku stated that in spite of all the tax education and enlightenment campaigns ongoing in the state for people to desist from collecting illegal revenue, some still embark on the activity. He recalled that the governor had issued an executive order that nobody should indulge in collection of revenues in markets, parks, and other places until June this year, but lamented that they have continued to see all manner of illegal collections. The AIRS boss charged Anambra to ensure they pay their levies and tax into government account, adding that apart from this, they should know the people demanding for the money are fake. Dr. Nzeku noted that anyone caught will face the law, saying that 11 people are already in prison custody, while 2 have been sentenced to 3 years in prison and some still awaiting trials.
Continue to apply the relevant sections of the tax laws to see that we bring this menace to an end. We continue to ask our people to please contact the Anambra State Internal Revenue Service if for any reason they suspect that any person that is demanding any monies from them is indulging in illegal revenue collection. We can be reached easily on these phone numbers 070-6672-7750 or 090-5323-4816.
In Oka, Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
The Anambra State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested 16 persons suspected for various degrees of drug offenses. The report. The arrest was product of a 4-day raid on various smoking joints across the state. Reacting to the arrests, the state commander of the agency, Mr. Sule Momodu, said they will not relent in the war against drug abuse and trafficking. He added that the agency is analyzing the suspects, after which those who have no case to answer will be allowed to go, while those found culpable will be charged to court.
The gentlemen you saw today were arrested from various locations in Anambra State here. Sometime last week, we decided to execute a series of raids, most especially in the smoking joints that have been identified across the state. So they were all arrested from those smoking joints. Precisely, we were on the road for like 4 days, Monday, Tuesday, we took the rest on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are the people you see there. And presently, they're undergoing different processes they've been interrogated to determine those that will go to court and those that will not go to court. As soon as that is determined, actions will be taken, and those that will go to court, charges will be filed, and those that will not go, will refer them for counseling and eventually be released back to the society.
Some of the suspects that spoke to the press, including 45-year-old Amechu Banese, Pascal Obo, Kabiru Abdullahi, Onyemechi Eze, Okechukwu Simon, among others, gave reasons for their involvement and subsequent arrests.
I'm a clearing agent from border. Due to the situation in the country, I decided to come back to my home. And my people are doing bad. I told them, the landlords, I told them that they should stop. They leveled allegation on me that I sell in their hands. Why I didn't. That's the reason why I'm here.
I come here, live here, I do job for time from my side. I didn't get person see me there, I go to give up. But I didn't push back. I buy the one I take them, do work.
On 6th of this month, I got a call. My brother called me and said that I should stay in his shop, that he want to enter the market. So as I entered the shop, about 5 minutes after entering, engineer officers appear also. So they said that they are on search. They want to do research of my shop. So I don't have any other option, only to let them to search. So they searched
and they said something.
Some drugs. So they picked me and said that I should go to the office. So they found a bromepazine, rose for me, blend, and the tramadol 120 milligrams.
Anambra shop buying a lava in a container in the pass because no one didn't Igbo no side and no side and the one guy is very junior. So and before I need to shop more. Oberogo na zo ba break then after senior onye uniform e brebe onye wona ba woso nwa so baba kwache no ndori.
It will be recalled that last month, 2 suspects had been arraigned in court for drug-related offences. Still on legal issues, an Ogidi Magistrate Court presided over by Moses Kano has ordered that a 72-year-old man, Ruben Okpala, be remanded in custody pending when he was able to meet his bail conditions. Sir Ruben, who is a suspended member of People's Club International, is standing trial on a 3-count charge of alleged conspiracy to commit felony, vandalization, stealing of 1 laptop belonging to one Chief Joseph Ilonze, among other appliances, totaling over 4 million naira, properties of People's Club International, Owe Road, Onitsha. Ejika Bana has the report.
The defendant, however, pleaded not guilty to all the charges against him. Counsel to the defendant, C.O. Nnabuife, had earlier applied for bail based on self-recognition, praying that his client will be faithful to the court. Jideofor Okongwu, counsel to the complainant, however, asked the court to demand for a substantial surety that can compel him to appear before the court as the need arises, as according to him, the defendant has zero tolerance for the court. The case was adjourned till July 24, 2019. Also before Magistrate Kano is another case of alleged embezzlement of funds meant for People's Club International, which the court adjourned till 17th of June this year for further hearing. The defendants were former officers of the said club. When the matter came up for hearing yesterday, the 2nd, 3rd, 6th, 7th, and 8th defendants were not in court, a situation the counsel to the complainant frowned at, stressing that it is mandatory for the defendants to appear before the court to answer for themselves. He argued that appearance of their counsel means they are all aware of the matter and prayed for a bench warrant against them, as sections 90, 100, and 101 give the court the powers to compel the appearance of the missing defendants. Counsel to the defendants, C.O. Nnabuife, asked the court to discountenance his colleague's argument insisting that the sections cited do not assist in any way. In his ruling, Magistrate Kanu upheld Chief Okongu's submissions as relevant to the case at hand, as he has the Attorney General's fiat to prosecute the matter. From the Magistrate Court, Ogidi Ejike Abana, ABS News.
Still to come on the news, EFCC arrests Islamic scholar for defrauding a Korean of 30 million naira. 6 persons killed, thousands affected as Paraguay River overflow its banks as heavy rains continue in the South American country. The Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, has arrested 31-year-old Islamic scholar and herbalist Jamiu Isiaka for impersonating the group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Dr. Maikanti Baru, and the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, among other prominent citizens. The suspect, in collaboration with others now at large, allegedly used the names of the senior government officials to fleece a South Korean national, Kyun Sin Kim, of 30 million naira under the pretense of getting him an NNPC license for oil business in Nigeria. Although the Korean paid the money into an account provided by the suspect, the business never got through, forcing the victim to petition the EFCC. During interrogation, the suspect, Isiaka, claimed that he used the money to perform a sacrifice on behalf of the petitioner. He admitted that he used the money to buy a vulture, elephant skin, elephant's intestine, lion's skull, gorilla liver, among others, to perform some sacrifices in favor of the Korean. A statement by EFCC spokesman Tony Orulade said that the suspect will soon be arraigned in court while efforts were being intensified to nab his accomplices on the run. The Executive Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Mr. Babatunde Fola, has blamed ignorance of taxation rules for the incessant controversies between taxpayers and government. The FIRS Chairman, Fola, expressed this view in a breakfast seminar in Lagos with theme Tax Controversy and Dispute Resolution. He counseled taxpayers to consult experts in tax issues to avoid overpayment, noting that, however, FIRS does tax refund where necessary. A taxing expert at the breakfast seminar, Mr. Wole Aboyomi, in his remark, said that the constant changing of economic landscape requires government at all levels to develop frameworks that will provide competitive landscape for businesses, effectively accelerate tax revenues, proactively curb tax evasion, and create opportunities for the country's teeming population. Tens of thousands have been affected when the Paraguay River overflew its banks, as at least 6 people are reported to be killed. The Paraguay River continues to overflow due to days of heavy rains. Paraguay has been inundated by frequent heavy rains that started at the end of April and have continued into the week. In some locations across the country, it has rained 9 out of 17 days, with some areas receiving well over 80 millimeter rainfall daily. The early days of heavy rain led to widespread flooding and evacuations, as well as a state of emergency being declared. But now, even though the rain has subsided, areas along Paraguay River are dealing with concerns over flood as the swollen Paraguay River continues to overflow. And on sports, Massimiliano Allegri will oversee his final game as Juventus coach at the club's Allianz Stadium tomorrow against Atlanta as the curtain comes down on his trophy-laden career with the Serie A giants. Juventus announced yesterday that the 51-year-old will be leaving the club after 5 seasons, during which he won 11 trophies. Juventus have one game left after Atlanta against Sampdoria in Genoa on May 26. The Turin Giants has already wrapped up their 8th consecutive title and Allegri's 5th in as many years. He lifted the Coppa Italia on 4 occasions since replacing Antonio Conte in 2014. His departure comes despite insisting he was staying after the team's quarter-final Champions League exit at the hands of Ajax, which led to criticism of his management after the arrival of Cristiano Ronaldo had boosted hopes of a first Champions League in over 2 decades. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV Online. Follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Before we go, here are the main points again. Governor's wife, Mrs. Obiano, has said women remain moral conscience of the society, charges them on promoting godliness at all levels. We told you that Anambra State Internal Revenue Service has continued clamp down on illegal revenue collectors. EFCC has arrested an Islamic scholar for defrauding a Korean of 30 million naira. 6 persons have been killed, thousands are affected as Paraguay River overflowed banks as heavy rains continue in the South American country. And that is the news this morning. I am David Opwasile, thanking you for joining us. The weekend show continues.